Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of my Ironman Progress from Scratch series. So we want to power through the early game and hit those big fun mid to late game grinds as soon as possible. How are we doing that? Well, we're going to knock out as many quests in parallel as efficiently as we can. That means starting and progressing as many quests at the same time in each city and town that we travel to, that way we don't have to waste time doubling back and going back and forth just to do one quest at a time. We're continuing right where we left off in the first episode, so if you want to see what's been done so far, check out the link to the previous video below in the description or in the title card on screen. So after handing in X marks the spot at the end of the last episode, we started up Pirate's Treasure, which you saw me doing at the beginning of this video, went over to Karamja, did some fishing at Moosa Point to do the diary while we're at it, and then continued on with the Pirate's Treasure quest back to Port Sarim. So we're going to head over to the general store now. This is where a bit of that multi-questing comes in, I guess. We're going to buy a bunch of supplies, some of which we're not using for the current quest, but we will use in the future. What I wanted to do was buy a raw chicken, 3 beef, 2 cheese, 8 red berries, 1 banana, and 3 pots of flour, but you may have noticed that I only bought 1 beef. So I'm going to have to make a return trip to this store shortly. Not exactly the efficiency we were going for. And the other thing to note is obviously some of these items are only stocked singly, like the red berries, so you got to world hop to just grab all the supplies, but it doesn't take that long. So we're going to continue on with the Pirate's Treasure now, pop back up to the fishing store to grab the white apron and back down to the general store just to progress this stage of the quest. We're just going to head over to the monk boat and deposit everything that we've got from the general store into the box, except for the beef, of which I still only have 1, but remember you should have 3, not 1. And then we're going to head up to Pirate Frank and just give him the Karamjan rum to progress with Pirate's Treasure. Now that we have the inventory space, we're going to head back down to the fishing store and buy some packs of feathers, 16 packs to be precise, and we're going to buy them one by one so that we can minimize the cost. So I'm opening my feather packs, going for a lovely stroll up to the range to cook the 3 steaks that I thought I had, and of course at this moment is when I realized that I had only 1 steak. Now an intelligent person would have stopped after cooking the first steak successfully, gone to buy the other 2 and come back, because we need 1 burnt, 1 cooked and 1 raw. I, on the other hand, decided to just immediately burn the one I had successfully cooked and...
No! God, please, no! No!
I really butchered that, didn't I? Okay, yeah, the puns aren't helping either. Moving right along, we're going to pop into Betty's house to grab an Eye of Newt, which will be used for Witch's Potion later, to go right alongside that burnt meat that we've now got an extra of. Sorry, I'm still traumatized. I can't let it go. I hope that's not a sign of RNG to come on the account. If you want to stay tuned and see how the RNG goes on this account, then drop a like and a sub and follow along. Or maybe you just want to tag along and see some more of this inefficiently efficient gameplay. Anyway, onwards and upwards. So to save us a bit of cash, we're going to head over to Entrana. There's a plank spawn up near the Law Altar, and we're going to use that to grab us our 10 planks to help with the Daddy's Home quest. That way we don't have to spend the money to make them at the sawmill. Just hopping between worlds to grab 10 planks in total. They may not allow weapons on Entrana, but you could sure do a good bit of damage with a solid plank to the head. Moving right on from the violent thoughts of cracking skulls with a plank, we'll grab a couple of eggs, uncracked thanks, and then head back to Port Sarim, deposit everything into the deposit box, except for the money, because we're going to need that in a second, and head up to the farm to grab some farming supplies from Sarah's shop. On the way there, we'll also just swing by Captain Tok to start the Corsair Cove quest while we're here. Once we get to Sarah, we're going to have a quick chat to her to progress a portion of interest, which we started in episode 1, then buy a few supplies for our upcoming farming and questing, 9 sacks, secateurs, a seed dibber, rake, trowel, 3 plant plots, 1 watering can, and 2 plant cures. Then grab a bucket of milk from the dairy cow on the way out, and make our way up to Falador, our next big stop. So we're going to do a quick drive through of Falador, no longer than your typical midnight Macca's run, with a brief pit stop at the bank to grab some coins, sardine and chronicle. Then we're going to pop up to Mr. Wyson, I don't know, and buy a couple woad leaves from him, pop over to the White Knight's castle and then start the Knight's Sword to talk to Reldo and start Black Knight's Fortress. Now we're going to go to Varrock for the first time on the account. This is where things are really going to begin picking up steam, so hold on to your hats. We're going to start Gertrude's cat, pick up the Dougal leaves behind the house, get interrupted by the mysterious old man. I think this is the first one on the account actually. Get a decent reward. Not bad. Talk to the gypsy to start Demon Slayer. Speak to Shylock and Willow to progress Gertrude's cat. Then speak to Romeo to start Romeo and Juliet. I swear the dialogue here is longer than the actual original by Shakespeare. Speak to Sir Priswin or Priswin to begin progress Demon Slayer, and then speak to him again. Head to King Rold on the other side of the castle to start Keep Priests in Peril. Speak to Reldo to progress the Knight's Sword and start the Shield of Arov. And then we're going to grab the book and continue with the next step of the Shield of Arov quest by talking to Reldo again. Head to Captain Roban upstairs to progress Demon Slayer. Back downstairs to the other side, grab the pie dish. Go upstairs, grab the bucket. And then fill it up and fill the drain with water so that we can flush out the key for Demon Slayer. Head down into the Varrock sewers to collect the key. Go back upstairs and then go to the estate agent to collect the saw and begin Daddy's home. Right, time for a brief intermission to catch our breath. Let me know in the comments down below if you're keeping up or if you have any ideas or suggestions on what you might have done differently. So while we make our way down to Aubrey, I'll just go over a couple things. You'll notice in my inventory I have Mind and Air runes. That's for if you're doing the Shield of Arov and you want to do the Phoenix Clan route, because you'll use it to kill Johnny the Beard in the pub. It doesn't really matter which route you take for Shield of Arov, you just got to find a partner one way or the other. People generally think it's easier to find a partner if you join the Black Arm Gang, and in the end, I changed my mind and decided to go with the Black Arm Gang. Mostly because it's the opposite gang to what my main account is in, which had joined the Phoenix Clan previously. Again, it doesn't really matter which one you go with. Anyway, regardless of that, we want to buy some runes from Aubrey. We're going to be buying 100 Mind runes, 100 Air, 50 Water, 50 Earth, 20 Fire, and we don't want to use any rune packs when doing this, so we're just buying it slowly. Now it's time for the last little push of questing in Varrock before we get on with a bit more skilling, so let's go. Hold up. Does anyone see a problem here? And no, it's not the mugger smacking me in the face. Yep, I just said we're about to get back to questing and I already messed up the first step. Completely forgot to give the package to Aubrey for rune mysteries. Ah well, we're going to move to East Varrock and start Family Crest. Head back to Old Man Yarlow and begin Daddy's home, progressing it till we get to the waxwood logs from the crates in the kitchen. Head over to Blue Moon Inn, go upstairs and grab the treasure from Pirate's Treasure. Head back downstairs and progress Vampire Slayer by buying Dr. Harlow a beer, and then we're going to buy a spare beer for later on as well. And then pop outside and speak to Charlie the Tramp to join Black Arm Gang. Okay, time for the last little push in Varrock. We're going to head back to the bank and grab a bucket of milk, raw sardine, Dougal leaves, steel axe, chronicle, 3650 GP, the waxwood logs, our knife, and head up to the lumberyard. Once we get to the lumberyard, we want to keep going with Gertrude's cat until the cat goes home. We're going to chop down a dying tree while we're here as well. Turn those logs into a plank. Buy 5 bolts of cloth and 100 steel nails. I had to hop worlds a little bit for that. And then turn the waxwood logs into planks. While we're in the area, a quick little detour to the east to start Rag and Bowman 1, otherwise we won't be back here for a little bit. Then we're going to teleport with the Chronicle back to the Champions Guild and finish off Gertrude's cat. Pop in to visit Juliet, progress Romeo and Juliet there. Go back to the bank, grab a saw, hammer, 10 planks, 5 bolts of cloth, 3 waxwood logs, Julia's letter and our steel nails. Swing by Romeo to progress the quest again. Then go over to Old Man Yarlow's house, fix it up. Go back to finish off Daddy's home with Marlowe. And then enter the church and progress Romeo and Juliet one more time with Father Lawrence. And with that, we've finished the questing for Varrock. So we swung by the bank and then grabbed a hammer, saw and nails and a player own house tab to get to Remington, some GP, and then burnt meat, Eye of Newt and an onion for Witch's Potion, as well as 18 planks and 5 noted bolts of cloth and 5 noted planks, so that we can knock out a little bit of construction since we're swinging by our house. That got us up to 12 construction, then we left the house and finished Witch's Potion, did a little Clan Wars teleport up to the Ferox Enclave, jumped in the portal to Soul Wars, and here we are. Time for a little bit of skilling. Just some nice relaxing woodcutting. So I don't know about all of you, but I'm pretty buggered after all that. Let me know again, in the comments if there's anything else you would have done differently, or if you have any thoughts on this particular episode. I did a little bit of a mix of jump cuts and speeding up of the clips. There will be a bit more questing in the future to do, so let me know which one you prefer as well in the comments, and maybe I'll cater towards doing that particular style of editing. I just tried to keep it a little bit fresh as we went. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see a little bit more, then episode 1 is linked down below, where I sort of go over the goals and just get started on the account. If not, or if you've already seen it, then hopefully I'll see you for episode 3, and I think we'll be doing a little bit more skilling next episode, just for a change of pace. Have a good one, guys. See ya.